I don't know whether to be angry or sad. In truth, I'm extremely scared for all of us. I receive countless amounts of messages, comments, and emails insulting me, and even some trying to humiliate me publicly, telling me to shut up about the US presidential elections, to stop saying that Biden is not president-elect because the elections are over, and that there was absolutely no voter fraud. Can't be said. People call me out as a Trump worshiper and worse, as if I have no right to my rational, thought-out opinion. And I definitely have no right to voice it publicly because I'm spreading fake news and doing horrible damage to America and to democracies around the world. Regardless of whether I'm right or wrong about my opinion and analysis that the elections are far from over due to the myriad of voter fraud allegations, the growing trend of shutting up people's voices just because one disagrees and think that it's fake news, well, that should worry everyone. This has gone far beyond whether Trump or Biden ends up winning the election. This is about a despicable trend of thought police and negating free speech that is openly supported by the media establishment and even many politicians. People today are literally afraid to openly voice their opinions about President Trump and about allegations of voter fraud because they do not want to be bullied publicly, ostracized, cut off from friends or even family, lose a job, etc., just for voicing their opinion. That is a really sad reality that too many people are totally fine with. The extremely sad thing is that the biggest cheerleaders leading the charge to make people feel this way is the media establishment, calling any and all allegations about voter fraud fake news. I don't know how many people realize how dangerous this is to our free society. It is extremely scary. People are truly being bullied into shutting up, and many just want this to go away already. So many people are scared to publicly say that they believe that there are allegations of voter fraud, and they are afraid to publicly say that Joe Biden is still not officially president-elect because it has all been labeled fake news by the media establishment, shutting up everyone who thinks differently. This is powerful stuff. Want to see how scary this is? Just watch this.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about troubling and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 We are not being exposed to news reporting anymore. The media establishment, all together, as you see, are creating a narrative to bully all of us to shut up. It's that simple and scary. Am I the only one utterly scared about what this means for our freedoms if this is allowed to continue? Not just for Americans, but for freedom-loving people all over the world, including Israelis and people in other Western democratic countries where the media is acting more and more like George Orwell's Big Brother. Going back to the personal attacks on me, here are just a few of some of the real winners that I have received in my inbox lately. Here's one. Shut up! You have no right to talk about the US elections because you live in Israel. Another one. Why support an anti-Semite like President Trump? kind of like helping Hitler. And another one. The most important values of Judaism have been violated by President Trump and his cohorts. Perhaps living under the rule of Netanyahu has numbed Jews to what are decent Jewish values. And saving one of the best horrendous ones for last, I am a Chilul Hashem. That is a Jewish Hebrew term meaning that I am desecrating God's name by voicing my opinion. Honestly, I'm embarrassed for all the people who wrote all those messages to me. First of all, as I have spoken about many times before, anyone who thinks President Trump is an anti-Semite is really disconnected from reality and most probably watches too much mainstream media. They have literally allowed themselves to be brainwashed. For goodness sake, President Trump has Jewish children and Jewish grandchildren. He is the first president to issue an executive order to fight anti-Semitism on college campuses across the United States. He has denounced white supremacy like hundreds of times. Yet, mainstream media, politicians, and even many Jewish leaders continue to utter the blatant and despicable lie that Trump is an anti-Semite, with some people seriously so delusional that they even compare him to Hitler. Again, I'm seriously embarrassed for anyone who believes Trump is an anti-Semite. You don't like his policies or his behavior? Fine. But calling him an anti-Semite and Hitler shows who really has been brainwashed by fake news. And no, he did not call neo-Nazis fine people at Charlottesville. Again, that has been a big lie fed continuously by mainstream media, parroted even by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in their pre-election debates. If anyone would just take 5 minutes to actually watch or read the full transcript of Trump's statement after Charlottesville, you will clearly see that he does not support white supremacists. He called out the neo-Nazis. Next, they say I have no right to voice my opinion because I live in Israel. Sorry to disappoint. I have every right to voice my opinion regardless of where I live. Next, they say that I'm a disgrace for supporting Trump because he has violated the most important values of Judaism. Okay, what values are those? Again, sorry to deflect here, but plenty of US presidents have violated Jewish values. Bill Clinton was a known philanderer. So was John F. Kennedy, one of the most beloved US presidents ever. Yet, I hardly hear any bad words about either of them. Now, don't get me started on former President Obama, who claims that the anti-American, anti-white, anti-Semitic preacher Jeremiah White is like an uncle to him. He listened to White's venomous sermons for 20 years and got married by the guy. You don't think he was influenced by the guy? Now, while Obama wanted his presidency to work on racial wounds in American society, not only did he do nothing to solve any racial wounds, his presidency actually deepened the racial wounds in America. Most people won't say this, but I will. Obama was one of the most racist modern presidents in the history of the United States. Obama winning the presidential election twice proves that America as a society had very much overcome much of its racism. Yet, Obama used his presidency to grow the racial tensions in America, not heal them. He turned everything into a race issue. That is the epitome of racism. On top of that, Obama supported the worst terrorists in the world, the Sunni Muslim Brotherhood and the Iranian Shiite mullahs, allowing for more bloodshed and more human rights abuses and evil in countless amounts of countries. Those are all against basic Jewish values. Again, someone wants to disagree with Trump's policies? Fine. But don't make it out as if he is the first or only president to potentially go against Jewish values. That exposes a deep sense of naivete. Every US president has to make the best decisions possible to deal with complex situations that in reality pit different values against each other. That's reality. That's leadership. Lastly, the people who say that I'm a Chilul Hashem, that I desecrate God's name by voicing my support for President Trump, or voicing my support regarding the need to look into voter fraud allegations in 2020 elections, all I try to do is express my opinion and analysis. Those who think my voice is a desecration of God's name Well, it's less a reflection on me and more of a reflection on how they have been totally brainwashed to believe the lies about President Trump. And again, that just shows you the power of the media establishment and what it has done to so many educated, thinking people. No, I won't stop voicing my opinion, especially since I know I'm voicing the opinion of so many people who are just too scared to voice it themselves because of the new accepted societal norm of bullying anyone who dares voice a different opinion about Trump and potential election fraud. Again, this issue is way deeper than who wins the presidency. This is about the depths modern Western society has fallen, mainstreaming the concept that it's totally okay for the media establishment and social media to be the thought police. Please disagree with me if you want, but don't take away mine or anyone else's right to voice their opinions, unless, of course, it is incitement to violence.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.